In this episode of Sailing Dark Angel, we sail back to Staniel Key to track down autohelm parts, only to be welcomed by another squall and yet more lightning. Once things settle, an anchor dive gives us a front row seat to stingrays and a massive school of fish moving quietly beneath the boat.
If you like our videos, please smash that like button and don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell. It's free for you and really helps our channel.
So after a hard day of stringing a net along,
Let's go for a walk. I need to walk it off because my back hurts. Woo! Took me a couple hours or more to put that netting together.
oh, you were over 3 hours.
So I gotta, and that's not even to stand on, that's just to make sure that it, doesn't fly apart while we're doing any kind of crossing. Picking my teeth. Big turtle. See it? Look at him. Or it's a fast-moving rock.
It's one of those fast moving rocks. He's coming in. Yeah, that's the little one. The big one's coming back in. Should we wander off into goat country, see if we can catch dinner? See if we can see any goats? Lizard trails. All kinds of goat prints. Turtle? Fish. Oh, that one over there? Turtle.
Resting and looking for turtles.
But are you looking for resting turtles?
They'd be probably in turtle grass over there.
Probably. I just got informed by makers that the autohelm stuff has landed, and hopefully we'll have it by tomorrow. We can start that install, but that means we have to head back up north towards Staniel Key. That's where Makers lands. And then we can install the autohelm, and if that's all it needs, if the ram is good and the rudder position sensor are good, then we'll at least have an autohelm heading south. Right now we're really hoping we can put together enough money to get a radar, and if we can do that, then we're going to be stuck here for probably another week waiting for that to come in. Then we can head south. We won't have AIS. But if we have radar, autohelm, depth, wind, those are the critical items, along with the chart plotter, to get us the rest of the way south.
So where are we going, Captain Dave?
Back to Staniel Key.
Why?
The beauty of a lightning strike is we haven't been able to do anything we wanted to do because we have to stay near where we can get parts shipped to. And every dollar that comes in goes back out in parts. Staniel Key is where it gets shipped into, so we sneak away a little bit and try and enjoy life, and then we sneak back to Staniel Key and pick up more parts.
That's right. We are leaving Big Farmers. Bye, Big Farmers. It was a lot of fun, and I'm gonna miss ya. But we gotta go.
How much are you anticipating having autohelm again?
Oh, a lot. I want autohelm. It's annoying. It's not that hard, but it's just annoying. The only reason it's not that hard is like follow the pink lines. But when there's no pink lines, that's when it becomes difficult.
Or at night when you've got no points of reference.
Oh, that's brutal. It's brutal, and I've had to do that, and it is brutal. I know that through experience. Our autohelm died when we were coming back from Annapolis. We had next to nothing on the boat. It was bad. It was as bad as it is now, eh?
We were going to Annapolis when it died.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh my gosh.
And then as we got further south, it started to work again.
Is that not the weirdest?
Yeah, well, that was the clutch slipping, but it did start to work, and it worked all the way to Bahamas.
Yeah.
And then it started slipping again. We fixed it in Georgetown.
Yeah.
If I can find it, I'll put the link right here. So there's more to staying on course than just aiming the steering wheel. You've got to steer the ship with the wind, with the current, with the waves, pushing us in all different directions. And Lisa's getting really good at this. The other thing you've really got to do, and do it well, is read the weather so we don't lose any more freaking sails.
There's one out back that I was a little bit concerned about that I asked Captain Dave to take a look at because it was starting to form, but it looks like just rain, nothing too damaging, because I refuse to lose another sail to a squall sneaking up on me. I'm done with that.
I was inside editing. She called me out here to take a look. So
This is what we're faced with. She could see this forming over here. What she couldn't see was this here, which is very dark, forming behind us. And it's a cell that's building, but it's not a storm cell. That's just rain getting thicker. So those clouds will drop some rain most likely. We're running away from them unless they build bigger over top of us. But we're heading this way, which is fairly clear. When we get to that point up there, which you can't really see behind the sail, that point is Harvey Key. When we get to that point, we'll be taking the sail down anyway because we're making a hard right and sailing down into Staniel Key and hopefully go pick up some autohelm components. And maybe get an autohelm back.
That'd be amazing.
Then sitting in that chair becomes far less exhausting because you're not steering the whole time. You're just watching the course, watching the weather.
Yeah, but I'm also watching the consistency of the wind, making sure it doesn't overpower our sail.
If we start to get any kind of big gusts, that would mean that sail behind us is building fast and it's time to rip it down.
Yeah, we're settled in around 10 knots, which is giving us about between 5.7 and 6 knots of speed. So we're doing okay.
Okay. Good thing you cleaned her bottom.
Yeah, clean your bottom, give her a little bit more oomph.
Everybody likes a smooth bottom.
So, Captain Dave, we made it to Staniel Key again.
Again.
And it looks like we're a little bit ahead of a storm that's coming in. We just got anchored. I did have to re-anchor. I did pull the anchor back up one time because the anchor was skipping, so I have to pull that up. And this time, what I had Captain Dave do is pull up to a different area right here where you can see it's a little bit more shallow because it's all sand, whereas this is more grassy. So what I did was I dropped it just at the edge of the sand right over here and pulled back on it. We got joy, so we're anchored. We're here. And now we got to get a bunch of things done. Got to pick up the packages, got to drop off garbage, and we got to get some groceries. 3 G's. Groceries, gas, and garbage. We got our shark.
Did we get our anchor shark?
We got our anchor shark. He didn't come out the other side. He's not out the other side.
Well, I'd send you out there in the rain to look, but I don't want you to melt.
I'm more worried about the lightning.
well, let's hope there isn't any. There's been thunder, but I haven't seen any lightning.
Yeah, but we both know with the thunder comes the lightning. I feel a lot better being in this anchorage than I did at the other side because the other side was all grass.
Oh,
This is like deep sand.
in front of Staniel is not good.
And the wind starts
And
to
it's
pick
all
up.
scoured. And
Here we go, ready? I didn't see him come out here, did you? And that shark is at least 5 feet, at least.
well, we got lightning going on again. I've unplugged everything I can, shut off power to everything I can. There's no internet, nothing. We should probably shut our phones off. But the phone is the anchor alarm. We got water coming in through those engine controls that Lisa's.
That needs to be
Put a bead of silicone or something on.
Silicone right along here, because otherwise it's flowing right into our engine room. Not in our engine room, our electrical room. That just ain't good, man. So right now I've got it covered with tape, wide tape, so that it's not flowing right into the engine room.
Lisa usually does the anchor dives and she does a really good job of it, so I usually let her. And besides, she's prettier on camera. But today, I'm going to do the anchor check.
Yeah, there it is. See, we're drifting over the chain now.
We were directly over top of it. I had a great view of it, but it drifted out while I went to get the camera.
There's the anchor coming behind me.
When we take down the jib, it doesn't always furl perfectly. You've got to keep tension on the jib lines while you furl it, just enough tension that it keeps it stretched tight so that it furls nice and tight and neat on the forestay. But you can't really do that without an auto helm with only two people, because somebody's got to be at the helm, and then somebody's got to be furling, and then somebody's got to be in the jib lines, and it's too many somebodies. Once we were stopped and on anchor, we both went and refurled.
We're closer to Pig Beach than I like, but far enough out that we're not getting rocked too badly by the tour boats. There's a motor yacht over there heading out, and I think it's calmed down enough now. I'm going to repower everything.
Everything is powered down. Our phones are off, navigation is off, and our phone is also our anchor alarm. So, but what are you going to do? You get a lightning strike, it goes out, it doesn't work anyway. So I powered everything off, unplugged stuff, took all the load off the inverter and so forth. So the problem is there's no way to actually shut off the inverter and isolate it. And that's what happened to our last one, is everything was off and everything was unplugged, but the inverter still got fried because the inverter is always connected to the electrical system. All right, so the new auto helm kit came in today, and that's real good news because we need that. The one downside sort of was that even though the box shows the correct controller, the controller that came in is the rotary knob style, which is more for a power boat. The good news is there is a catamaran setting, so I hooked it up because the odds of them shipping me another one and it not costing me another $1,000 are very, very low. It detected everything. It all seems to work, but it's static mode, so we'll test it when the winds are a little lower and we can go out and motor around the anchorage a little bit. There's lots of room here, so we should be able to do a setup test. We'll just have to get used to using the rotary knob for our course instead of push buttons. What are you going to do? We ordered the right one. The box says we got the right one, but inside the box was the wrong one. This is still the old Garmin, but the Raymarine cover fits it, and so it blends in with everything better. This is our new wind instruments, and the chart plotter is actually detecting everything. There's wind over there. Now that we have an EV1 sensor, which is your position sensor for the boat, it detects pitch, yaw, and all that, and it's forward of this. It's forward of the chart plotter, so it actually gives you the direction that the boat is facing. And so now we've got the direction of the boat, we've got the wind direction and speed, we've got the boat direction and speed, and there's our boat instruments. What I'm hoping is that we'll have full functionality of an auto helm, because what we lost before, or what we couldn't use before, was we couldn't set a waypoint on the chart plotter and just set the auto helm and have it go to the waypoint. It just would not do it. It would take off sideways and just go away. So once we've got everything oriented and all the testing done and set up, I'm hoping it's going to work properly that way. I was worried that the rudder sensor might be toast. The good news is the ACU200, which is the brain, came with a rudder sensor. I have not installed the new one. We're using the old one because everything's already running hooked up, and we're going to test it with the old one. If the old one works, now we have a spare. So far very happy with it all. With the one downside of we couldn't run the wires down the mast for the wind sensors. Everything else so far is working and set up and tied in properly. I've rebuilt the entire CTalk network with all new components, and everything is talking properly and communicating properly, so that's a big thing. If we don't get another lightning strike, we should be okay for a bit.
Well, we haven't checked the anchor here yet since we've gotten back, so I think it's about time that we go and do that. Just a little while ago, there was a couple of Stingrays. I think they're up at the front of the boat, so let's go find out. Right, Captain Dave? Captain Dave, of course, is going to watch over me in this anchorage because This acreage is known for killing people, so I don't want to get run over. See? Let's not do that. Okay, so Dave's gonna watch over me to make sure I don't get run over. I take a look around and make sure it's okay to dive down so nothing's coming at me. And now let's go down and check the anchor.
Good.
Good night, sir.
Here you go, Cap Dave. Thank you for watching over me.
Of course.